All right, so here we are this week. We're going to move on to our second president of the United States. Hopefully you made your guess, and the second president was a man named John Adams. And guess what? The First Lady named one of her pets. Not Fido, or Spot, or Biscuit, or Jet. No, the mixed breed dog, much to everyone's chagrin, was unfortunately given the odd name Satan. John preferred horses. He had his own mare with a dark, shiny hide and flowing black hair. Her name was Cleopatra. John rode her around town and had stables built on the White House grounds. Now, moving on to his presidential stats, he served his term from 1797 to 1801 as our second president. His wife's name, the First Lady, was Abigail Smith Adams. His vice president was Thomas Jefferson. And John Adams was part of the Federalist Party as well, as George Washington was. He was born on October 30th, 1735 in Braintree, Massachusetts, and died in the same spot on July 4th, 1826. Now, a couple interesting facts about his death, which we'll probably talk about later on, is first off, he died on July 4th, which is our Independence Day. And he died hours from his vice president, Thomas Jefferson. And they were close friends ever since the founding of the country. But it's almost like a coincidence that they both died on the same day. John Adams, his occupation or his job before the presidency was as a lawyer, and also served as vice president to George Washington. His nickname was the Colossus of Independence. And so a little bit more about John Adams. I'll show you the picture over here. In addition to Satan, Abigail Adams also had a mixed breed dog named Juno. Built in 1800, the first White House stable house was located on the corner of 14th and G Streets. And John Adams was actually the first president to live in the White House in Washington, D.C., as we know it today. George Washington, during his time, Washington, D.C. was still being built as our next capital. And so the capital of the United States at that time moved around a little bit, but is centered in Philadelphia. And so George Washington served as our first president from Philadelphia, and there was a presidential mansion that he lived in. Because Adams traveled often, he and Abigail would sometimes spend years apart. Between 1762 and 1801, they exchanged over 1,100 letters. Adams was the first president whose son, John Quincy Adams, also became president. And some of his accomplishments and events, John Adams served on the committee that wrote the Declaration of Independence, also making it even more significant that he died on July 4th. Passed the Alien and Sedition Acts, which were 4 bills that placed restrictions on foreign citizens. And he refused to bribe the French government with money in exchange for a peaceful agreement in a conflict known as the XYZ Affair, which almost resulted in a war between the two countries. And there you have it. That is John Adams. Stay tuned for the next president, the third president of the United States. Let's see if you notice a pattern.